C'est la boo, everyone, and welcome back to the HabWrap. I am your host, Harry Rice. You are listening to the friendliest and funniest source for anything and everything Montreal Canadiens. We had a game last night, and the reason I didn't record last night, which I do apologize for, by the way, if you aren't on the Discord, I posted a notification there that I'd be recording it in the afternoon, not that night, is because the game started at 10:30 and ended at about 1. So I was not going to come down here and then start talking for, the half hour that I do these for when my mom's trying to sleep. So I just said, I'll just do it in the morning or the afternoon when I wake up. And and yeah, so we're up here. This is probably going out at about 7, I'd imagine. So I apologize for the delay in how long this is taking to get done. But regardless, the Canadiens played last night. And if you don't already know the result, I'll be very surprised if you're a Canadiens fan listening to this. But the Canadiens played last night. It was the last of a 4-game, the last game on the sort of Western Canadian road trip. I say that because it's not fully that now because they've added Seattle in the mix to that. So it's a Western road trip, if you will, which I don't even think Seattle is west, but hell, don't ask me about geography. Yeah, it was part of the NHL's Frozen Frenzy, which I was thankfully able to watch a good part of. It was very fun. For someone like the hockey guy, I'd imagine why it's not that fun, because you got to be able to take notes and everything like that. But for me, just being a hockey fan, getting to watch and see basically NFL Red Zone for hockey for the 3rd straight year, I'm very happy with that. It's very fun. So, so yeah. That was entertaining as a whole to watch. And then the Canadiens started at 10:30, and I said, all right, no more messing around. Time for the Canadiens game. So, of course, we've got the lines we got to talk about before we get into my game notes, which I do have on my phone, as per usual. So, the opening lines for the Canadiens were Caulfield, Suzuki, Slafkovsky, Anderson, Evans, Gallagher, Newhook, Kapanen, Demidov, and Bolduc, Doc, Veleno, Matheson, Dobson, Struble, Hudson, Jack Carey on the blue line. Jakub Dobesh will definitely get the start between the pipes for the Canadiens, and Samuel Montembeault backs him up. There's speculation as to if he's going to be going in net on the 1st of November against Ottawa, because that's our next game. I could see it being either or, but of course we will see. The opening lines for the Kraken are Catton, Beniers, Eberle, Marchment, Stevenson, Tolvanen, Schwartz, Wright, Newman, Cartier, Myers, and Winterton up front. Dunn, Larson, Lindgren, Montour, and Mahora Oleksiak on the blue line. Joey Daccord, of course, gets the start for the Kraken because he has been really solid so far. I'm genuinely really like Joey Daccord. He's a great goaltender. Former 7th round pick, I believe. Matt Murray backs him up, and my note is the same as the last time we played. No clue how he has a job in the NHL still. I don't think he's even played a game, actually. I'm pretty sure it's been Daccord all the way, so there's also that. But yeah, so, but the line's out of the way. Before the game, there actually surprisingly wasn't any before the game notes for me to take. The only thing I really could say is that the Kraken have a couple injuries. Jared McCann was hurt. I know they had a defenseman hurt. They had another forward hurt. They had a couple guys. Like, some of their big offensive pieces were out for this game. So the Canadiens come in tonight getting a fairly bruised up Kraken team, and very lucky for that in that regard. So Habs get a shot in the first minute, but Daccord holds. Hudson goes offside exactly a minute in. Carey has a nice hit on Newman along the boards. Kraken rush. There's a good shot blocked by Carey on a 2-on-1. Demidov during a line change. He has some good looks to get some offense going. Evans in the slot. That's saved. Habs second line just can't get it done. A puck in the Kraken bench will stop play there. Habs then ice a puck after a Kraken chance. Hudson at the blue line using his wrist to deke out, but just try and, where's he going? Where am I going? But there's a quick shot deflected out of play. Habs lead the shots only 2-1, 8 minutes in. This game, there was a bit of pace to it, but just not a lot of actual action. Kraken then scramble in the zone. There's a near chance, but there's no shot. The Habs the other way. Daccord covers on a dumper on net. Habs start to press. There's a shot by Suzuki, and we score right afterwards. Cole Caulfield with essentially the wide open net, because Suzuki said, "Nah, I don't feel like burying my rebound. Give that to Cole." He gets a one-timer, puts it home. That goal comes from Suzuki and Slavkovsky, 10:25 into the first period. Cole's on fire. Your defense is terrified. Yeah, Caulfield gets that one. Actually, it's not Slavkovsky. My apologies. That is actually Suzuki from Caulfield from Suzuki and Dobson, actually. I don't know why I put Slavkovsky. Kraken... Sorry, the Kraken get his own chance. There's a power play, and it's Caulfield called for a slash. Habs get a dump to neutral. There's a hand pass called on the Kraken. Habs clear on the next shift. There's a good stick by Matheson on a pass in the zone. I think I meant in the slot. Newhook nearly beats Dunn, but there's good coverage in the Kraken zone. There's a marksman shot tipped just wide. Habs kill it off. 1-for-1 on the penalty kill tonight. Kraken the nice one with 5:45 left. Not a ton of flow after that Canadiens goal. A lot of just, kind of hold off, hold back, play a defensive style of game at this point. There's a Catton shot just wide. Matheson, lost the stick, but the puck ends up coming out of the zone. Habs get lucky there. Kraken the nice the puck again with 4 minutes left. Canadiens press. Hudson fakes a slapper. There's a shot that seems to hit Caulfield on a drive-by. Habs then go to a power play. Lindgren's called for a cross-check on Slav. Kraken clear immediately. Habs get set up. Suzuki from Slav just can't one-time it, unfortunately. But it doesn't matter. We score! Juraj Slavkovsky, who at this point I thought had a 2-point night, but unfortunately did not. But Slavkovsky in the slot with a nice wrister. He puts that home for the 2-0 Habs lead. Caulfield and Suzuki with the assist there. Suzuki looking phenomenal to start the season. Habs are 1-for-1 on the power play tonight. Dobesh has a glove on Montour. There's a good stop. Anderson then nearly beats Decor to a puck. Habs look to press shortly after. Doc has good poise. He holds. He gets by Brennan Montour in the slot. Tries to go far side on Decord. Great shot. Even better save. That easily could have been 3-0. Probably should have been 3-0. He keeps it 2-0 though with 1:13 left. Kraken then go to a power play a short while, maybe like 10 seconds later. Valeno was called for a slash. That one was a little bit weak in my opinion, but I kind of get why they call it, I guess. Habs clear along the board. There's a quick Kraken passing, easy for me to say. That leads to a Dunn shot that's stopped by Dobesh as he holds there. Newman gets a one-timer in the pads of Dobesh. He squeezes and holds that. Newhook dumps it right down then. Carrier along the boards just holds, and that does it. Habs have a minute left to kill to start the second. Habs have the 2-0 lead after the first. These shots are 7-5 for Montreal as well. In the second period, a Benir's shot hits Dobesh. Kraken press, but they don't get anything. Habs are 2-for-2 on the penalty kill tonight. There's a Dobson shot right into Decord, who holds as Suzuki was trying to screen. Suzuki then has a shot into Decord after some pressure. Caulfield has a burst at the line to end up generating that. Dobson in the battle along the boards. That gets won by Seattle. There's a hold at the line as Catton misses one. That eventually ends up out of play. Kapanen with a hard-working shift. You love to see it. Good hustle getting a pass as he's tripped. Getting a pass off as he's tripped, I should say. He then gets a shot in the zone. That's saved. Kapanen, there's an outside chance of it happening, but there is a little bit of a chance that the Calder race this year looks like Demidov, Dobesh, and Kapanen. It's not going to. It's probably going to be Demidov, Dobesh, and then Schaefer. But Kapanen is working hard. He's going to get some Calder votes. He won't end up in the top 3, unfortunately, more than likely, but he's going to look good. Kapanen's going to be a very hardworking. I could see him turning into an Arturi Lehkonen type of player, if he's not already, which he very well seems like it. Kraken go the other way. There's nothing as Kapanen again. He's in with the man on a rush. A good stick lift. Slavkovsky on near break gets a shot. He's then hit hard behind the net. He got right up, though, thankfully. Habs second line go to work. There's a board play won by that second line. The Kraken get some sticks to break any Habs looks. Kraken try to press, but there's sticks by the Habs the other way. The Canadiens at this point, I had to praise them because they were playing a complete game, generating some offensive chances. For as low shot as the game was generating offensive chances. Stopping the Kraken from really getting any high danger chances. The Canadiens just played the way that they wanted to play tonight, and Seattle had to adapt to that. Dobesh comes way out to play the puck twice. He is clearly confident. You love that. Kraken not being given much. Always a Hab there to break a chance up. Habs press then. Both teams play back in their own zone. Very defensive at this stage in the game. Caulfield has a look, but or as he gets confident, but it's shot up and out of play. The shot is up and out of play, I should say. Doc has good play, driving a man into the boards. Not a hard hit, but a good defensive hit. Kraken then go to a power play with 6:02 left. A weak hooking call on Bolduc for a hooking call on Bolduc who hooked Alexiak. That's how I'll put it. A little bit weak. I see why they called it, but I personally wouldn't have. Evans wins the draw and he clears it. Anderson then clears off a board battle. Matheson gets away with a high stick. Evans has a good slow backhand clear down the ice. Kraken try to press, and a good clear by Kapanen means the Habs are 3 for 3 on the penalty kill tonight. There's a good top line press. Suzuki in the slot, off the post and out. Suzuki could have 5-6 goals this year. He has gotten so unlucky in terms of scoring, but he's getting the assist to make up for it, so we don't care that he's not scoring because he's still creating scoring. If it's not with goals, it's assists. There's a reason he's about to lead the league in assists. Spoiler alert. But yeah, Slavkovsky gets good passes. Caulfield nearly scores. Kraken goes the other way. Slav eats a cross check from behind. There's no call. Kraken try to press. There's a chance off a Dobesh pad. Stop. Scramble in front. Nothing. Puck goes out of play with a minute 30. There's a commercial. Struble, as I put a Hars hit, but I meant hard hit. I love fat fingering my keyboard like 23 times in a period. Struble with a hard hit on Ryan Winterton. Bolduc then gets hit from behind. Anderson with seconds left, good speed, tries to get a scoring chance, but a late shot from Dobesh is unfortunately all that would be generated there. So in the second period, the Habs still hold the 2 lead. After the second period, I should say. The shots are 12-10 for the Canadiens. I feel like I actually took like 2 or 3 more notes than usual because I was trying to compensate for the lack of shots in this game. This game had looks, but a lot of chances were going wide from both teams, and yeah, it was just a very low shot game until the third period. Spoiler alert. In said third period, Beniers gets 2 looks early. There's a good stop by Dobesh. Habs end up icing a puck 2:15 in. Demidov has a 2-on-1. He passes instead of shooting. Surprisingly for Demidov, I don't think he realized how much space he had. Montour gets the stick in there to break that up, but Demidov probably could have taken the shot. Habs then go to a power play just over 4 minutes in. It's a trip by Schwartz on Hudson. Having watched Whiskey Lung's video last night, which did not affect my notes, by the way, I'm reading these as they were, but watching his video, well, technically this morning, I know it wasn't a super obvious trip, but he did get the stick in there, so I get why it's a call. But that might have been a bit of an iffy call. But either way, Schwartz yaps at the refs, and he still gets the call. It's not going to change anything. Hey, I didn't... why are you calling me? Oh, sorry. All right, just go to the bench then. Kraken clear early twice. There's a near 2-on-1 shorthanded. Kraken clear right at the line. Habs get the second unit. They finally get in the zone. There's a few near slot chances. And we score. Alex Newhook, one-timer in the right circle. Good shot from him. Alex Newhook, he's not having issues finishing early in the season. He had a lot of issues scoring last year. He was snake-bitten at points. There were points he just did not have a great shot. And early on, 11 games in, he's already got 4 goals. Alex Newhook's looking like he might end up hitting 25-30 this year. And good for him again. He's got 4, like I said, at this point. That's his 4th. That's a power play goal from Doc and Dobson. So Dobson with the 2 assists night. That trade is looking great for the Canadiens already. Glad the Islanders fans are liking Emil Heineman. We kind of figured they would. That's at 5:55. The Habs are 1 for 2 on the power play tonight. Kraken look to press. There's a delayed offside on one press. They try to get in fast, but just not much. The Habs go to a penalty kill 7 minutes in. Strubal's called for a hook. That was a bit of a ticky-tack call. That's another one I wouldn't have called. There were a couple rough penalties on the Canadiens tonight, but you kind of had to expect that after the way they called out the refs in Edmonton. You kind of had to know the refs were not going to play nice with them for a few games. Habs do get a clear off a poke by Wright. The Kraken gets set up. The Habs can't get a clear. And they score at exactly a minute into the power play. Okay, so it was actually closer to 8 minutes. It was at 7:57, the penalty call. But they score a minute in. Montour makes it 3-1. A good slapper from the point just behind Dobesh. It actually looked like Josh Anderson got a tip on it. So Josh Anderson, once again, is in the please get off my team column. But that one goes behind. The Habs are 3 for 4 on the penalty kill tonight, so still a very good penalty kill despite that unfortunate goal. Montour with actually his first of the year from Catton and Marchman at 8:57. Top line for Montreal presses. Caulfield finds Slavkovsky with a one-timer. A good stop by Decord. Both teams not much pace for a couple minutes. It feels like they were kind of lackadaisical almost. Especially the Canadiens, it kind of felt like at that point they were just like, okay, just hold back, play defensive, let them get some chances, but not many big, scoring chances. But we will see how that affects them in a minute. Habs get a sudden chance. Veleno is found, but just some bad ice. The puck is off his stick. That sucks. Doc then has a big hit on Ben Meyers. I believe it's Ben. It might be Myers, but I think it's actually Ben Meyers. From behind, it looked like. And here we go. 3 Kraken try to jump him. Jack, Carey, and Gallagher get right in there to defend him. Doc didn't want to fight. He knows that it actually was not a dirty hit, which it actually wasn't because it looks like on the replay he actually gets his arm around Meyers to prevent him from going head first into the boards. And we actually do get a few penalties out of it. So Doc and Newman both end up going for roughing. We go 4-on-4 with 2 minutes with 6 left. And I was actually fine with this because the Canadiens are typically pretty good at 4-on-4. Off the draw, Suzuki and Caulfield press. Caulfield just can't bury one. Beniers stripped by Matheson. There's a near 2-on-1, but not enough speed. Slavkovsky ends up trying to break in with a second pairing, but just poked away. Catton gets a chance just wide. That's moments after a done rush. And then the Kraken score. Shane Wright makes it a 3-2 game on the 4-on-4. Just in the slot. There's a good chance as I think Dobesh needed that save. Just couldn't get it, unfortunately. Not going to really put that one on him, but just one that he probably could have saved. Wright with his third goal of the year. I believe his third against the Canadiens in his career, I think. I know it's for sure his second, because he scored his first career goal against us. It might be his third career goal against the Habs. From Montour and Tolvanen at 15-17. Sorry, I gotta get my notes. There we go. Habs ice a puck with 3:57 after Hudson ends up getting pressured. Bolduc with speed tries to strip Ducord, who does get a pass off. Habs top line press. Suzuki has a save by Ducord. Kraken get a lucky bounce. Marchman with a look, but he ends up getting tied up. Dobesh covers the loose puck. My God, that was scary. 2:38 left. There's a TV timeout, and Ducord's pulled right off the draw. He's on the bench already. Kraken try to set up, but it goes off a skate. It's all the way back in their own zone. Beniers in the slot, just shot wide. And the Kraken score. All of a sudden, this game went from 3-0 with 9 minutes in, basically, to a 3-3 game with less than 2 to play. And who else would it be aside from the guy who loves playing against the Montreal Canadiens? Brendan Montour with his second of the year. Seriously, Brendan Montour has, I think they showed last night on TSN, in 21 games against the Canadiens in his career, he has 21 points. And that's what, including, 8 points in his last 3 games? Something crazy. I know he had the hat trick against us last year. And then I think even in the first game they played against us, he had a point or two. I forget. I think that was a 3-2 win for us, I think. Or no, wasn't that a 5-4 win? I forget. But I know Montour had a couple points in that game as well. So he loves playing the Canadiens. And he, in case you haven't noticed, he's got a 3-point night here. He gets his second of the night from Dunn and Schwartz off of a slapper. To me, on the initial, it looked like Dobesh saw it all the way. But I think there was a screen that kind of that went away right at the last second, and he couldn't tell where the shot was coming from. Just that really sucks. The Habs played back defensively a little bit too much, and it ends up costing them. Habs press in the last second. There's an Anderson shot for a rebound on net, but that's batted away. And we are somehow headed to overtime, tied 3-3. The shots are 20-19 for Seattle. So that's right. So the Kraken, who had just 10 shots in the first two periods, or after the first two periods, after the second period, they get 10 alone in the third period, and they pressed hard to get back in this one. So, it makes sense, I guess. The Kraken are 3-0 at home coming into this game, so it kind of makes sense that they would, that they'd end up fighting back in this one. The Canadiens just needed to play a bit more aggressively. This game's probably lost. We'll see. So in overtime, Suzuki wins the draw. Hudson has speed. He goes in. There's a shot wide. Caulfield with speed off of another draw from Suzuki. He comes in, gets around a guy, goes around the net, and from behind the net, he's poking at it, and it's in! Cole Caulfield scores 44 seconds in. And I'm looking at the NHL.com page for the Game Center, and it's really funny because they list it as a poke shot goal. So I don't know how many of those you see a year. But yeah, Caulfield gets the shot. He sees it's loose. He pokes at it, gets his stick kind of behind the court and puts it in like that. Habs don't choke. They finish the job. A 4-3 Canadiens win. 44 seconds is all it takes. Goal Clutchfield with his 9th of the year from Suzuki and Hudson. Habs win it. The shots end up being 21 even. Habs get the only shot that really matters in overtime. And I'd be hard-pressed if I did not mention immediately and not wait for the stats. Cole Caulfield with, firstly, his 3rd overtime goal of the year. Cole Caulfield is now all-time number 1, standing alone in career overtime goals for the Montreal Canadiens. That is just insane that Cole Caulfield in 298 games already has 11 career overtime goals. Just absolutely nuts, absolutely bonkers. Just absolutely love this kid. So happy we drafted him. Just an absolute beauty, and quite frankly, I can't say enough good things about Caulfield or Dobesh. I can't say enough good things about Caulfield. Just the kid is he's just dynamite. Absolutely love the kid. There's a reason that he is my first Canadiens jersey with a name and number on it, because this kid, he's a superstar. He's going to put up 40 to 50. I would not be surprised to see him put up 50 this year. He's already got 9 goals in just 11 games, so I think he's on pace even for, 68, 67 goals. Let me actually look up his elite prospects real quick while I'm recording, so I can get that for real. Cole Caulfield is on pace indeed for 67 goals and 97 points. He's not going to get 67 goals. As awesome as that would be, I would not be surprised to see him put up 50 at all. And Nick Suzuki as well. This kid is, I think he's on pace for, what is it? I think it's like 119 points or something like that. Like, Nick Suzuki is, firstly, he's 7th in the league in points. He's on pace for 15 goals, which obviously he's going to probably get 30. He's going to start getting hot at some point. 104 assists, 119 points is what this guy is on pace for. Nick Suzuki is dynamite as well. And the fact that he still isn't getting talked about that much, I think is crazy. So, yeah, the Canadiens end up taking this one. Seattle, from the grip of defeat, takes it away, and then the Canadiens said, "Nah, fam, we got it," and then they took it right back. So the Canadiens pull out the win. Honestly, it shouldn't have even been in doubt. I should actually point out, I think it's really funny, before we get to the stats, they did not do the thing they did last year in overtime, where Hudson was up front with the rush, and that's when Montour broke in and he got his, I think he got his hat trick, or he just scored the overtime winner. I think it was the hat trick, but I don't know. No, that couldn't have been the hat trick game, because he had the hat trick in regulation, and then I think that was just his second of the night in that game when he scored the overtime winner. So they didn't do that, and the commentators did point it out. Hudson was playing back right off the draw, so that was pretty funny. So we're going to get into the stats, and then we're going to work our way on out of here because, 30 minutes is usually what I like to set these pods at. So big Nick Suzuki, the captain of the Canadiens, Le Montreal de Canadiens. Nick Suzuki's got 2 goals, 14 assists, 16 points, and he is on a 10-game point streak. Probably could have mentioned that earlier, but, I like to wait for this now. Cole Caulfield's got 9 goals, 4 assists, 13 points. As I mentioned, the 11 career OT goals. He's got 3 this year. Lane Hudson with a goal, 9 assists, and 10 points. That sophomore slump is not looking like it's going to affect Lane Hudson. Ivan Demidov with 2 goals, 7 assists for 9 points. Alex Newhook's got 4 goals, 4 assists, 8 points. Oliver Kapanen, 4 goals, 3 assists for 7 points. Noah Dobson with goal and 6 assists, 7 points. Juraj Slafkovsky, 5 goals and assists for 6 points. Zach Bolduc, 4 goals, 2 assists, 6 points. Michael Matheson with 3 goals, 3 assists for 6 points. Brendan Gallagher with 6 assists. Alex Carrier with a goal and 4 assists for 5 points. Kirby Doc with a goal, 2 assists for 3 points. Caden Gooley, who's still unfortunately hurt. Jake Evans and Josh Anderson, each with a goal and an assist. Jaden Struble with 2 assists. Arbor Jacki and Patrick Laine, who unfortunately is still hurt, each with an assist. Caden Gooley and Arbor Jacki, each with a fight this year. So yeah, that is going to do it for this episode of the HabWrap. I feel like I might have said something different in the intro, but you guys know by now it's the HabWrap. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I have been your host, Harry Rice. Please do not forget to subscribe if you're on YouTube, follow if you're on Spotify, Amazon, wherever you're listening to the podcast on. Yeah, if you're on YouTube, again, check out the links in the description. Any little bit of support is always appreciated. If you want to leave a comment, the question or anything like that, I'll be sure to answer it in the next podcast. So yeah, I see that we have gotten a few subscribers since the show started. A little bit of views as well. I don't expect this one to get many views because it's the day after the game. It's not, going up when the game happened, right after the game happened. So yeah, either way, again, thank you all so much for watching. Please, share with your friends, leave a comment, all that good stuff. That's always appreciated. Leave a like at the very least if you at least partly enjoyed the video. So yeah, again, that is going to do it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Always remember, no matter how good we are like last year, how great we are like this year, Ale Montreal, go Habs go, and say it with me, everybody. C'est le but!